I make a living playing time I can. And I'm betting on Sunday that I'll be fishing solo, just me and my cameraman Joe. And with a little bit of luck, I'll have just enough. Gonna back this boat into the water, find a way to win a couple dollars. Weatherman says there's a cold front coming down. Bring it on, I've seen it all by now. I can catch them shallow, I can catch them deep, open water or the back of the creek. Wind and rain to me, it's all the same. I make a living playing this game, and I thank the Lord above every time I can. I get to be a fisherman.
Hey, folks, we got the Pier Mayor. He's in the studio, and he's a little worked up this morning. I don't think I've seen you this excited this early in the day. What's going on?
I'll tell you what, Scott, I just got back from the Bassmasters kickoff day up at Spring Creek. They
oh, my gosh.
They kicked off 107 boats at 6 o'clock this morning. I was up there I got up there a little after 5.
Wow.
And they were all lined up there from Spring Creek, going clear back there towards the Cow Creek turnoff. And these guys have done this before. There's no question about that. It went very smooth, when you talk about 107 boats. Now, this is single competition. This isn't partners or anything.
Teams
this is
or
one
nothing.
person per boat.
Wow.
So 107 fishermen, bass fishermen, and each one of them has a marshal to make sure that they don't break any of the Bassmaster rules. They were a little bit short of marshals, but by far the majority of them, had a marshal with them.
Right.
So they, 4 at a time, they launched their boats, and so we had 107 trucks and trailers, and
my gosh,
and plus everybody, all the spectators, a nice crowd to watch it all, and they had an announcer there that said 15 minutes till the first boats would go out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the National Guard was there. They had their boat from the 200th here in Pierre, and they had the American flag on there.
Oh.
And they motored out and sang the national anthem. I'll tell you what was really impressive, everybody there, including the fishermen, they had all the boats sitting there in the water. They all stood up in their boats, took their hats off, hand on the heart. I mean,
no
really
kneelers?
no
kneelers there, Mayor?
No kneelers. These bass fishermen and everybody
America.
there. You bet. It was just very impressive. And they kicked them off, and they all lined up. They knew the position they were going to be in.
Wow.
So they got all the boats in the water, and then they said, 30 seconds till, we're kicking everybody out. And I'll tell you what, at 6 o'clock they started, and each one of them, they motored through. They knew where they were supposed to be at. They got in line, motored past the dock and the announcer, and he introduced each one of the fishermen, where they were from, if they'd won. They had some of the, these guys are the professionals.
The elite.
The elite series, that's right. They have to continually, score points during the year to compete in these tournaments. And so the big names were there, and I can't name them all, but some of I was standing there, and the gentleman next to me who follows the bass people,
he knew these guys.
He knew them, and he'd say, one person for sure. He said, "Now there's the Dale Earnhardt of the Bassmasters there, putting his boat in." So it was really exciting, and I would encourage everyone to get up early. Make your pot of coffee and go up there. They'll be kicking out tomorrow at 6 o'clock again. And get up early, because it's really a sight that you don't see here in Pierre, South Dakota.
It's Kevin Van Dam. I'm looking at their website, bassmaster.com, and they've got like 50 or 60 some pictures of just this morning's registration that took place. And I'm looking at a picture of Kevin Van Dam, guys, in town.
Kevin Van
He's
Dam's
on the water
in town.
right now.
He is.
He's got his radio on. He's tuned in to KGFX.
Yep, that's right.
Not by a long shot.
Yeah, and they all they have to be in at 2 o'clock. by 2 o'clock up at Spring Creek.
Okay.
And then they'll come down here to Steamboat Park on the causeway there, and that's where the weigh-in will be. So I encourage the public to be down there. Today at 3 o'clock they'll be there, and all 107 will be weighing in there. They're gonna take them down the causeway, have them turn around and come back, and the stage and the weighing station is right in that parking lot there.
Oh, this is going to be nice.
By where you go into the causeway there.
So many people right now wished they'd have taken today off.
Yep, that's exactly right. And what's really interesting too, I'll bet if you drove up there over lunch or, sometime this morning, take a break, if you drive up there, when I was coming back to get on the DRG radio here, there were some bass fishermen that just went right out and just went right around and started fishing in the bay right there. You could sit on the road and watch them. I'll bet there was probably 10 spread out there in Spring Creek itself where you could watch them.
It's as if they must have talked to a few locals.
Maybe so. I don't know. They had 3 days of pre-fishing that they could come up here.
Sure.
And what's really neat about this is that these, with the publicity, ESPN's television is there. They had a drone flying around, and as we talked a little bit earlier, that drone, the person flying that drone certainly has way more experience and credentials than I have flying my drone.
Sure.
And so like I said, a great crowd, and it just was really exciting to see. And it doesn't just impact Pierre and Central South Dakota.
Goes beyond
this
that.
is more long term.
Sure.
I hope they really catch a lot of fish and have a big success, because it really could be a long-term relationship with the tournament for
Well,
Pierre.
and they're talking about that too. These guys are so excited about Oahe, and it's a mystery to them. They're scared to death. They talked to Steve Kennedy, one of the pros, last night, and he said it may be his worst tournament ever, or it may be his best tournament ever. They don't know, because Oahe's a huge mystery to them. First time that they've ever been on this thing, and this is just going to be huge. So
it is. And I did a welcome last night at the rules meeting at Ramkota there, and they had all the contestants and the marshals there, and I did a welcome there, and they were talking about the wind, and we haven't been up here on this type of water before, and this is the farthest north that we've been, and so it was really interesting to talk to the fishermen, because they were just they had all their sponsorship shirts on, and their boats, and you've been seeing the trucks around town with the wraps and the everything like that. So we've got an exciting 4 days here, and 107 will leave again tomorrow. 107 left, so Friday, Saturday, it'll be 107, and then they cut it down to, I think, 50 on Sunday. And then it's a drawing, depending on weights and things like that. I think they cut it down to like 15.
Yeah, 12 or 15, something like that.
12 or 15 on Monday. So, watch the weigh-in today. Get out there tomorrow at 6 in the morning and watch the takeoff, because that's really fun. The weigh-in tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and then Sunday too. So they have the weekend off for sure. The weigh-ins will really be cool too, right down here in Steamboat Park.
Lots to be proud of. Lake Oahe, largest man-made lake in the United States, 374,000 acres. It's bigger than Lake Okeechobee in Florida.
Yep, it is.
It's 2.5 times bigger than Toledo Bend on the Texas Louisianan border.
Yep.
And
I mentioned that last night at the welcome, that I gave them a little history on the Oahe Dam, how it was completed in '63, backs up water into Bismarck, North Dakota, has hundreds of miles of shoreline, and I'll tell you what, they were talking last night. Those fishermen, and
they've only heard of this place.
Yep. And they did mention just the event. The director of the event spoke also, and he really complimented the Convention Visitors Bureau, the Chamber of Commerce, the City of Pierre.
They're the best.
And what great partnership and cooperation has been to put on an event like this. complimented the city on how beautiful it was and how beautiful the whole area was.
There you go.
And that they were all excited to be here and excited to get on the water and see what the fishing was like.
Well, you mentioned they started fishing right away, but I mean they can go anywhere in South Dakota waters on Oahe, and
Yes.
they can't go up into North Dakota. But from what I'm hearing, they're not going to be going as far as you would think.
Yep.
They'll keep it close.
That's exactly right. And it's really a statewide event, because I was talking to a couple fishermen last night after we did the rules committee, and several of them said, this is the first time we've come to South Dakota. And so we went to the Black Hills and we saw Mount Rushmore.
Well, sure.
We did that on our way to Pierre. And so, they're looking at the whole state too. So this is a lot bigger thing even than just for Pierre.
Sure. Well, on the flip side as well, how are the fish doing? They're post-spawn right now.
Yeah.
And that's not the greatest when you're in a bass tournament, and they're looking kind of skinny from what I'm hearing too. So it's going to be interesting to see what these pros can pull out.
It really will be. Yep. And these are like you say, these are the pros. So if there's bass out there, they know how to catch them.
You could see the bass this morning over coffee.
Yes.
I don't feel right today, Frank. Do you feel right? I don't know. Something in the air, something in the water just doesn't feel right.
That's exactly right.
So this is going to be exciting, and bring your family. Make the phone calls now. They got a couple of days to get here. Let's fill the town up with everybody that we know and love, and support these guys so they come back.
Absolutely, absolutely, Scott.
Well, there you go. Thank you so much for coming in, sir. You have a great time, and get out there and learn those names of all those bass fishermen.
You bet. You bet. Thank you, Scott.
You betcha. There you go. That's it. People in the neighborhood right here on KGFX at 740. Hey.
Yeah, I'm a fisherman.